It is time for something sweet, and we know just the person right here who can make it happen here in the studio. Big Herb's baking partner extraordinaire Leanne Fletcher is back with us today in the CBS 6 studios, and today she's going to be walking us through the steps on creating her famous jelly poppers. A jelly popper, huh?
Yeah, some people call them donuts, but you know, you can make them the size you just pop them in your mouth. So
I love it. Throw a little curveball at it.
Exactly.
All right, so jelly poppers, we don't have to go to the store. We can make them at home?
You can. And so again, simple, simple, simple.
Yeah.
I like to take recipes or things that you don't think that you can possibly make at home, such as donuts, and be able to show you that, you know, you certainly can.
All right, where do we begin?
So we are beginning with all of your dry ingredients first. So sometimes you start with dry, sometimes you start with wet. So we're gonna start with your dry. And today we have 2 cups of flour. I like to use an unbleached flour.
Unbleached, 2 cups.
2 cups.
Okay.
Don't use wheat. I use wheat in some things, but this is not a recipe to do the wheat.
Go all out.
Go all out on this one.
You're gonna be, if you have like a little guilty pleasure, go all out,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely. So we have the flour in there. We're gonna have about, this is a little bit more than what you normally would, but this is about a 1/4 cup of baking soda.
1/4 cup of baking soda,
Yes.
okay.
And the reason for that is because there are different recipes out there. So you have recipes that you can take the dough and it's almost like you're making the bread to where you're gonna let it sit, you're gonna cover it up, let it rise for 30 minutes or so, come back, knead it again. This recipe, again, we're going with simplicity, so it's no kneading.
We like simple.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're gonna also put in your sugar and your salt.
About a quarter cup?
Yep, and then just a pinch of salt for that, and that's gonna give you your sweetness. If you try this recipe and you feel like this is more of a cake donut, so if you feel like, okay, we need a little bit sweeter, I made it the other day and my sons are like, it doesn't taste sweet enough. Just add a little bit more sugar.
A little bit more sugar.
That's it. That's all you have to do.
And we're going to put this recipe up on our website by 2 o'clock this afternoon or so, WTVR.com/VTM, if you'd like to get this recipe.
Absolutely.
Or you can just call this girl. We'll get her number up there. Yeah.
That's right.
Get some jelly poppers.
We can make them for you.
Yeah.
And so that's your dry ingredients right there.
Okay. Real simple.
Really simple. And again, everything that you have at home. If you bake at home, you're going to have all those ingredients that you have.
How many would you think this will make?
This makes about the size that we have here. This probably makes about a dozen or 2 dozen.
Perfect.
So depending on the size.
Good for one person or maybe 2.
Exactly. So 2 tablespoons of melted butter.
Okay,
that we're going to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And then this milk is warm. Again, we're just trying to get all the ingredients active. We're not using yeast. We're not having this to rise. Basically, the rising ingredient is going to be once we actually cook it.
Did you throw this in the microwave?
I did, yep.
Okay.
Just put it in there for about 20 seconds. It doesn't need any more than that.
Just warm, not
just
hot,
warm,
not
hot, no. And so then we can just start mixing this together. And we also have over here some vanilla and
Your kids
1
must
egg.
love this, Leanne. You're making jelly poppers at home?
We do. And of course,
it's not sweet enough, Mom. You have to make some more.
And of course, for us, you know, it's one of those things to where you have to, as well, bake before we get on here and try it. So any recipe I have on here, we are usually making it at home already.
But isn't that trial and error, though? That's sort of the fun or maybe the challenge of baking.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so again, if you think it's too sweet, if it's not sweet enough, if you want to do, maybe say, do lemon in there instead of the vanilla, because lemon goes well with raspberry. So if you're gonna stuff it, all of them, with raspberry, go ahead on and put the lemon extract in there instead of the vanilla, and you have a different flavor there, and it mixes well together.
Like we were saying with Big Herm, it really is trial and error.
It is trial and error.
To your taste.
But again, it kind of goes back to, I mean, I cooked with my grandmother and my mom, so when you were in the kitchen, you're just experimenting, you're talking, you're thinking things over.
Right.
And so again, it's just a good time to be in the kitchen with everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a lot of fun, and you introduce your children to the kitchen as well, right?
Absolutely, yep. My oldest one loves it. Of course, she's been on once here when we were outside in the garden. Youngest one could care less. He's not a big eater.
He just wants to pop the jelly poppers.
He just wants to pop them. That's all he wants to do. So at this point, what you do is we have a deep fryer here that you can obviously use here.
And this is readily available at any store, right?
In any department store,
okay.
Any grocery store that sells different items like this, waffle makers, or that you can buy these anytime.
Perfect.
Anytime.
Preheated.
Preheated, 350.
350.
If you don't have it, if you just have a big pan, deep frying pan, you can use that as well.
Nice.
For it. And then depending on the scoop that you like to use, you can make them bigger or smaller. Okay. It doesn't matter. Just roll them in just like this.
Love it.
Pop them in.
Just get a little ice cream scoop.
just
Looks like a small ice cream scoop.
And they make these all sizes cookies. They're just different size cookie ones. And then you're just going to pop it down in there.
Oh yeah, you can see it bubbling.
Yeah, absolutely. So from that, at that point, probably maybe about 3 to 4 minutes, depending on, again, the size that you want.
All right, we have 30 seconds left. When does the
jelly,
the
when it comes
raspberry
out,
jelly or strawberry jelly
again,
come
you
in?
don't have to be fancy. We can just use a bag, and you're going to take these poppers out, let them cool.
Right.
And then just pop a hole in them at any side that you want. And then we can just, we'll cheat on this one.
Take a little hole.
Take a little hole, put them down in there.
Oh, nice.
Close it up.
Jess, we're serving
You're
some
all
things.
set.
You know it's jelly popper time.
So we have strawberries today, raspberries,
All right.
chocolate. It depends on whatever you like.
How is it? Good? Awesome? Amazing. Of course it is, because this gal's in town. WTVR.com/VTM is where you can go to find this recipe later today. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with much more ahead on Virginia This Morning. Get this girl a glass of milk.
Yes, absolutely.